Well, hello and welcome to Caring for the Ministry Leader's Soul from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson Williams, coming to you from the remote location of my office in Pontiac, Illinois. Welcome to week 4. Seriously, week 4. At the end of this week, we're halfway through, if you can believe that. So I hope that you had a wonderful Easter. We did. My 22-year-old was sick, so he couldn't come. His fiance and him couldn't come, and then my 20-year-old came. He's skeptic. He's a skeptic. He's not quite there, but he came to church. He blessed his mom and dad, gave us a gift, an Easter gift, and came with us and sat on the front row of our megachurch. So we sat on the front row. So he was, yeah, I think he's probably a little uncomfortable. So that was okay. Um, Instead of doing a question of the week, I'm actually posting a video in the Global Cafe of a couple in our church named Nick and Sarah. And it was a video that was shown on Easter Sunday, and it kind of walks through what Easter faith looks like in the midst of a really hard time. So you don't have to watch that, but instead of a question of the week, I'm just going to ask you to take 4 minutes and watch that video real quick in the Global Cafe. That's where it'll be. Okay, so week 4. What are we doing on week 4? So we're talking about how to create margin in your life, how to do sustainable ministry, evaluating your heart. Where do you need to recover your humanity? You're going to read some more S-Wine. And what you're going to do in your reflection paper is you're going to interview someone. Interview a Christian leader, a director, a pastor, a campus pastor, a parachurch leader, somebody that you know that's in ministry, and interview them and ask them the question, how do they protect their heart? How do they guard their heart? How do they create a sustainable ministry? Okay, so I'll tell you that about 6 months before I left full-time pastoral ministry, I can't remember how I got hooked up with this guy, but somewhere online I was talking to about retreats. I knew I needed a sabbatical. I knew I needed a retreat. I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't even begin to understand how I could do that time-wise. And so I met this guy, and he actually writes retreats for people, like individually, free. It was part of his ministry. And so he told me, we met at a restaurant, and he listened to my whole story, and he said to me, you must come apart, or you're going to come apart. And I said, okay, I hear you on that. He said, no, listen to me. If you don't do this sabbatical, if you don't do this retreat, if you don't start taking care of yourself instead of running full blast, you won't be in ministry next year. I promise you, you won't. And of course, I shrugged him off because, I had 50 things to do on my to-do list, and I had to visit somebody in the hospital, and I had to get this ready, and had to do that ready, and had to juggle flaming poodles or whatever else I had to do that day. And I just kind of said, I got to keep going. And he was prophetic. He was right. And I was not in ministry. And again, as I tell you my story, I didn't do anything immoral or illegal or unethical. I just fell down. I just got so tired, I just couldn't do it anymore. And even walking into church on Sunday, I was so thankful that I could just go to church and sit with my family and not be running around like a chicken with their head cut off and be there every night of the week. I know some of you did that this week. You were at church every night this week getting ready. It's the Super Bowl, I understand, but there has to be a way of doing ministry that doesn't destroy your soul. And that's what this class is all about. And if you can learn from my example, if you can learn from the people that you interview's example of how to do sustainable ministry, then I've told you before, I don't care what grade you make in this class. I desperately want you to learn how to take care of your soul so you can have a sustainable ministry. So, okay, that is your assignment, and then you have discussion board. You're going to be reading S-Wine and talking about what area in your heart, does God need to recover your humanity. And as you read S-Wine, you'll understand kind of the metaphor there. And one of the things I want to tell you is that the discussion boards have been amazing in this class because you guys are being honest. And that's a very rare trait in Christianity. You know, we pretend like we're better than we are. We pretend like we're happier than we are. We pretend our marriage is better than we are. We pretend that our kids are better than they are, you know, and then we do, you know, a Facebook Live where everyone looks at our Facebook and goes, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. But yeah, I was talking to a young woman yesterday, and if you watch their Facebook, they have the perfect life, and it's not. And they're going through some real struggles. So I want to encourage you to continue to be honest. I love it. It's I love reading it. I love watching you guys interact with each other. So it's wonderful. Okay, so that's it. That's week 4. At the end of this week, we'll be halfway through the class. It's exciting. So it snowed all day on Easter here. That's Easter in Illinois, okay? So I'm going to complain about the weather probably every week until it warms up. And it's cold today, and it's going to be cold all week, and it's going to snow like Thursday or something. Are you kidding me? It's April. So, all right, that's that. All right, if you have any questions, comments, or anything I can do to help you with this class or otherwise, let me know. Onward and upwards.